All right, so when using the rice cooker, does this happen to you guys too? Or just like, I have to do that, and that kind of defeats the purpose of it cooking, I think. Lets all that heat out, but it just seems to bubble and foam and like overflow. Do I put too much water? Maybe is that the thing? I don't know. Do you guys have that issue? So I put a cup of jasmine rice and 2 cups of water. That's what I do, but see, it starts to bubble over. Maybe that's too much, I don't know. Then I'll do that. Start spraying water and steam everywhere. What's your solution to this, you guys? Give me some tips. Because all I do is just, if it gets really bad, I don't want to open it right now because it's not that bad. But like you saw earlier, I'll just lift it up for a second and put it back down and all the bubbles go down. Other than that, the rice cooker has worked perfectly. Cooks the rice perfect every time. But that's the only issue I've come across. Maybe too much water is what I'm thinking, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what your tips, rice cooker tips are. But just like the Instant Pot or anything that you're boiling on a regular stove, you don't put your hand, finger, face, anything over where the steam comes out, because that will burn you. Don't ask me how I know. Just trust me. I've actually done it. Yeah, I actually did that many years ago, you guys. So don't, be careful even when you're moving it around. See that? Steam comes right out of there. So make sure not to grab it from that direction. Always point it away from you and grab it from the opposite side. Just like the Instant Pot and anything else with steam coming out, make sure you grab it from the opposite side. Pro tip, but I'm not a pro. I just felt like saying that. All right, y'all. So that's my only conclusion. Too much water, because look at all this water just kind of floating on the lid. Other than that, when it gets below a certain amount of water, I suppose, then it doesn't bubble up like that. But look how cool those bubbles are. And then of course, once the rice cooker has finished cooking, this thing will pop up and it'll go to warm. And the only way to shut that off, or to shut the system off for this rice cooker, or basically most, if not all rice cookers, is to physically unplug it. So I mean, that's not a big deal, but it's another thing you gotta be careful about. Not just the steam coming out, because you don't want it to burn, so it'll keep going and going. And it's not like they're deal breakers or anything horrible about them. It's just something to be aware of. If you don't want your food to eventually get too done, too crispy. Sometimes, depends on what you're cooking. Maybe it'll start to kind of burn at the bottom because the heating element is down there. But it's just things to be aware of, you guys. Nothing bad, these are wonderful appliances and I enjoy using them. So I highly recommend them. Especially this one is a low wattage. Let's see.
I prefer using that one than the Instant Pot.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier, but it just depends on what you're cooking. Because this is more like simple, quick, basic stuff. The Instant Pot has a lot more power, and you can do like potatoes and big amount of meat and different things. So that's why I prefer that, but I like the combo because if you just want a quick rice with low wattage, I think these are like 300 watts versus the 3-quart Instant Pot is 700 watts. And then I believe that this is continually uses the 300 watts, you know, kind of slightly fluctuates, but continuously using it while it's in the cook mode versus the Instant Pot. That one will be around 700 until it comes to pressure, and then it drops significantly because it's just holding the pressure there. It doesn't need to be full force on and, you know, keep that amount of wattage going. So, you know, it's more stuff to keep in mind. Because I know a lot of you guys do van life or off-grid or are curious about that, or like do part-time car living, van living, and have solar generators. So those are always things to be aware of. You know, you think, oh my gosh, 700 watts, and it's like, you know, 30 minutes, an hour to actually, that'll drain my battery real quick, but you're not using that continuously is the thing. So you just, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Thanks so much for watching Dia's Frugal Life. I'm Dia, and if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for more future videos.